What's up guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to be building a security system in which your speakers will play an audio file when an intruder enters your house. For this project, you will need a Raspberry Pi, a micro SD card which has Raspberry Pi OS loaded on it. If you don't know how to load a Raspberry Pi OS onto your micro SD card, check out my previous video. A PIR sensor, USB-C power cord to power up your Raspberry Pi, three jumper wires, a speaker, micro HDMI to HDMI cable, lastly a keyboard and a mouse. Now we are going to be connecting the PIR motion sensor to the Raspberry Pi using three jumper wires. Firstly, gently take off the cap of the PIR sensor so that you can see the labels for each of these three pins. Now connect the PIR sensor's pin labeled VCC to the 5 volts pin on the Raspberry Pi. This provides the power to the PIR sensor from the Raspberry Pi. Connect the pin labeled GND to the ground pin on the Raspberry Pi. It is also called GND on the Raspberry Pi. This completes the circuit. Lastly, connect the one labeled out to any numbered general purpose input-output pin on the Raspberry Pi. For this project, we will choose general purpose input-output 4 pin on the Raspberry Pi. The out pin will output a voltage when the sensor detects motion. The voltage will then be received by the Raspberry Pi. Now gently put the cap back onto the PIR motion sensor. Now the connection is set up between the Raspberry Pi and the PIR motion sensor. Next, insert the micro SD card onto your Raspberry Pi. After that, connect the mouse and the keyboard to your Raspberry Pi. Then, connect the micro HDMI cable onto your Raspberry Pi and the HDMI port onto your monitor. The last step of this process is to connect your speakers onto your Raspberry Pi. Then, finally, you can power up your Raspberry Pi. Now, it's time for the coding part. As you can see, I have an audio file right over here. I'm going to create a new folder for this project. I'm going to name it Let's see, security system project. Yeah. Now let me just open up this audio file. You do check if your audio file is working and then move it into the folder. Before we do the actual coding, we have to test if our motion sensor is working. To do that, open up your folder and create a new file. Name that file motion sensor test.py. Remember that the extension is really important, so don't forget to put the .py at the end of the file name. Open up the file and type in the following code. First, we're going to import motion sensor from GPIO 0. Create an object of motion sensor called as PIR. Pass in a parameter of 4 because you connected the jumper wire from the PIR motion sensor to the input pin number 4 on the Raspberry Pi. There is a method called as wait for motion. This method makes the program wait until there's a motion detected, and hence any code below it won't get executed until there's a motion detected. So after a motion is detected, we're going to tell the program to print the line intruder and the value the motion sensor sent back to the Raspberry Pi. Let's run the program and see what happens. Now I'm going to move my hand in front of the motion sensor and this comes up. I'm going to move it one more time. As you can see, the program is printing intruder and the value the motion sensor sent back to the Raspberry Pi. I'm just going to quit the program now. Next, let's create the actual security system program. To do this, create a new file inside the folder and name it securitysystem.py. Again, remember, the .py extension is really important as it specifies that it is a Python program. Open it up. Now, we're just going to modify the previous program and implement the code. So open up the previous program, copy all its contents, and then paste it inside the new file. All we have to do now is play an audio file whenever the PIR motion sensor detects a motion. To do that, just type in the following code. For this part of the code, copy the path of your audio file and then paste it inside the quotation marks in the program. Just follow these steps. I don't need the program to print intruder and the value the motion sensor sent back to the Raspberry Pi, so I'm just gonna comment it out. You can do the same if you want to. I'm gonna run the program and move my hand in front of the motion sensor. As you can hear, the speakers are playing the audio file. So this program is working. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for even more cool Raspberry Pi projects like this.